Hello everyone and welcome back to A Mile of My Stilettos. It's your girl Crystal and I have with me
Ricky Jones Jr. What's up, guys? I'm back.
He beat me to it. So yes, for those of you who have seen some of the videos already, y'all know this is my husband, man, y'all. I told y'all I'm gonna start having him on the channel more, and here he is.
Yes.
So thank you for being with me, Mr. Ricky Jones
Jr.
So I just did a video recently. Well, we did one together, and I talked about how I knew he was my husband, how I knew he was the one. And I promised you guys that we would do another video where we talked about how he knew I was the one. So that's why we are here today. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump in. So, Missy Ricky Jones Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know that I was your wife?
Oh man. Okay. Well, let's walk them through the journey, okay? Because there's a moment that got us to where we are, which I was like, hey, Crystal, you're the one. But then there was some things that got us there, okay? So let's take the steps. Okay. So of course, how much do they know? But I don't know. I'm gonna walk you through what I know, and hopefully it'll help you to know what you should know. And the fact of that is, you know, I went to school. We met in seminary school, right? And so I had the mindset that I knew there were some things that I wanted from my wife, okay? And I say where I was where we met because I went to seminary school, focused on school, God, and my future.
Right.
I wasn't going to school like trying to find a wife. I wasn't thinking about anything pertaining to a wife. Like I was focused and locked in. But I will say that there were some things that I knew that I wanted from my wife.
Okay.
3 things. Okay, there were 3 main things. The first thing, let's see, I'll start with this one because if I end on this one, it would be a middle finger. But anyway, first one is she had to be a believer. Okay, she had to know God, trust God, believe in God, talk to God, and hear from God.
Okay.
Okay, all those things. Okay, all those things are important, vitally important. Okay, you had to trust God, believe God, know God, hear from God, and talk to God.
Okay.
Can't have one without the other.
Okay.
Okay, because just to know him is to know him, but to talk to him and hear from him is a whole nother level. I needed her to be with me on that level, okay?
All right.
Thing number 2 is that she had to come. This is my list, okay, guys, so don't hurt me when I say it because it is what it is. She had to come from a 2-parent household, right? I wanted to make sure that my wife knew what it was to have both a mother and a father that lived in her household, because with that, she knew what it would take and what it would look like to have a marriage, right? Because in seeing it happening, she would know what it would take, and I knew I had that in my household. I knew there was some, you know, it's a journey at the end of the day, and I believe that anybody who saw what that journey looked like represented in their home would know how to go along the journey when it happened to them in their home, right? So that was my point number 2. And my last point, very simple, is she had to be smart and on the way to doing bigger things.
Okay.
Right? Smart and on the way to doing bigger things. Because, I mean, I knew what I was bringing to the table, right? Good background, nice education. I was matriculating through life the way that I had planned, you know, as far as my way of matriculation through the military and things like that. And so I wanted to make sure my spouse, my wife, was on that same level of, you know, growth and trajectory of greatness, okay? That's what I wanted. I felt like if I had it to bring to the table, surely I can ask her to bring it to the table. And so I encapsulate all those 3 things to make sure that you realize that ding, ding, ding. Those things happen to be her, right? So not that I was just checking the list and saying, oh wait, this Crystal girl, check, she knows God and all those things. Check, oh, her mother and father.
Because that could have been a lot of people still.
True. Boom. She's going through things. How did I know she was smart and doing bigger things? Well, we were in seminary school. In order to be in seminary school, you have to first have your undergraduate degree. So she already had that. So that lets me know she had some type of paper education, wits, mind, smarts, you know, the necessary things for point number 3. And so, you know, that was that. But then it goes a step further, right? It goes a step further because, like I said, I was not going to school trying to find a wife, in which I found Crystal at their school. But I went to a service, right? One day I went to a service. Y'all know, well, if you don't know, I love church, right? So at any given time, before all these kids and everything, I was in church a lot. And so I was at this particular service, and a word from God came to me. And God let me know some things and some qualifications that would let me know who my wife is. And I was like, oh snap, like this was like right before going to seminary school. So I was like, okay. Or maybe while I was in. I forgot. That part is great. So don't quote me on it. But at the end of the day, God gave me those qualifications, right? And I was like, oh, okay, you know, I heard what he said.
What were they?
I heard what God said, and you know, I was like, okay, all right, we can roll and go with it, right? You know, that's that. God said it to me, right? I'm not going to say what God said to me to you all because God said it to me. I think the more important thing is that God did share with me some qualifications that he had for me to be aware of who my wife would be, so that I wouldn't be out there floating into anybody's pond.
So can we know the things though?
No, can't know the things. I mean, I won't say you can't know the things. I just want to say that it's more important to know why the things came as opposed to the things, because I don't want my things that I heard from God to be your things that you want to say that God said and then try to run with it.
Okay.
Because everybody things will be different.
Okay.
Okay? We good with that? Yeah. Okay. So, boom. Made it to seminary school, all that good stuff. Saw Crystal, you know what I'm saying? I focused, locked in. However, you know, we were new. It was all new, and then it was this gentleman that was interested in Crystal, right? He was interested in Crystal. I would call myself a wingman because it was like the three of us. It was like the three amigos, as he said. He even called us the three amigos, right? But at the end of the day, the three amigos who was hanging out and all that good stuff. And then, so...
Wait, you're his wingman?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that.
But you married me. You're like the worst wingman ever.
Maybe that was the reason why that was my last wingman job, okay? Maybe wingman isn't a word, okay? We were all friends. How about that?
Okay.
Can we agree to that? Wingman may be a stretch.
Okay.
My brother, I love you if you're watching this. Shouts out to you, pun intended. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, boom, I was his wingman. We were all friends, okay, maybe?
Okay.
Let me stop using that word. We were all friends, okay? And in our friendship, we started spending time together, right? We started hanging out and doing different things together, playing different games, yada, 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 talking on the phone, studying, all the different things that students do with other students, right? And so we even started sitting together in our Old Testament class.
Yes. I knew the Old Testament like super well, and he was like not as familiar with the Old Testament. And so like the teacher would ask questions, and he'll be like, "You know that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I read the Old Testament."
Right.
It impressed me so much.
These are all facts, you know what I'm saying? Smarts. Tell him number 3. But at the end of the day, boom, shaka, laka, 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 boom. We were hanging out, and on this occasion, so here's the scenario in which I knew for sure that Crystal was the one. Okay, I'm gonna paint the picture because it is so crystal clear, no pun intended, in my mind, even as I think about it right now. Okay, so we were outside. We just so happened to be studying together. However, she had at the time an apartment that had like a rooftop area, very beautiful. Had a pool up there, fireplaces, all those nice things. Had a little walk trail and everything, and we were walking outside. It was nighttime. The moon was out. The stars were shining bright. It was just so tranquil, like zen. And it felt like we were the only ones up there. Maybe not. I don't know. But it felt like that, so I'm sharing it that way. And so, we so happened to be at like a little sitting area. It was like a little area that had trees and things and like a little park bench. And we were talking. She was sitting down talking. I was standing up talking because I like standing up.
He does.
She likes sitting down. But at the end of the day, that's just how it was. And so we were talking, she was talking, and she had shared with me a scenario that took place between her and her friend, in which something that she had shared with her friend actually took place.
I think I was talking about how I told you guys before, like I dream about people getting engaged and like their proposals and stuff like that. Okay. And so anyways, like I had like dreamed of my friend like getting engaged, and I was just like telling him about that.
Boom. And so in the midst of that, like she was sharing the story, and probably like halfway through the story, boom, I checked out of what she was saying, and I started hearing what God was saying. And God had shared with me at that very moment, ladies and gentlemen, that this lovely, at the time, Crystal Nicole Poe would then be my wife.
My whole government name.
Oh well, that's if they know you, they should know you, okay? Things changed since then, so whatever. At the end of the day, God shared that, Ricky, that is your wife. So I'm looking at her like, oh snap, like, I gotta tell her, like, it's time to have that moment, okay? And ladies, if you don't know what that moment is, fellas, you do, but I'm gonna share it with you ladies because I'm sure you're locked in right now. The moment that I'm speaking of is the moment that each and every guy thinks should take place once the male tells the female that, hey, you are going to be my wife, okay? And in that response should be something of like tears, something of like a shock sound, like gasp of air or something like that, or a scream, or a oh my gosh, are you serious, or like something uber dramatic, okay? One of those 5 things should take place in response to what the male has said. However, I got none of those things, okay, ladies and gentlemen. So let me walk you down. So she finished what she's saying. I'm just waiting for the moment to be able to jump in this conversation because I have some important news that just came from God above. She finishes what she's saying. I say, Crystal, something I gotta tell you. God just shared something with me and I gotta tell you. So I go ahead and sit down because I'm bracing myself for her dramatic response and what I'm about to share with her. I look at her. I say, Crystal. Just like that. Crystal, God just shared with me that you're going to be my wife and that we're going to get married. And guess how she responded?
God already told me that.
Wait a minute! I didn't even get the laugh. I just got the straight face. God already told me that. I looked at her like, wait. This can't be so, like, but then I couldn't be mad, right? I couldn't be mad because one, she said God said first. Cool. All right, I can roll with that. The same God that told you is the same person that told me, so I can roll with that. At least we hearing from the same God. Okay, we can't say that, so I can agree. This is going on in my mind. What my face looked like, I don't know. Okay, but I am distraught. I will say that. But at the end of the day, I knew at that moment, and we then became serious about who we were. We didn't even have the title of like girlfriend, boyfriend. That wasn't even like our thing. We went from friends to getting ready to get married. Like at the end of the day,
We
like,
really did.
that's what it was. That was the transition at that moment. That moment solidified who we are today, and that's how I knew.
How long was that? Like after we like met? That was only like 2 weeks after we met.
Yeah, I mean, I might have had 2 syllables out of 5, you know, of my classes by the time we knew we was gonna get married. But that's just what it was.
Really fast.
Like people that went to the school with us thought we came in married, but nah,
That's how
we met each other there. And
he saw me and he took me out the market quick. He was like, it was some other dudes looking, but that wasn't even his goal though.
Yeah, no. So at the end of the day, what I will say, ladies and gentlemen, is what happened is that yes, I had my list, right? I had what I knew was important to me and what I believe was necessary for my future wife. Those 3 things that I share. I did hear from God about things that He knew was necessary for me to be able to pinpoint who my wife was for me, and then boom, we had the encounter. And at that moment, when those 3 things or 2 things aligned with that moment, she was the one.
And I think that's like a big thing. If you've already heard my story, then, you know, whatever. If you haven't, go check it out. But a big thing I think is we heard from God and then God sent like different signs, different confirmations and things like that. And I think sometimes an issue that ladies or even men run into is they start trying to see all the signs before they get the word from God to confirm it. You should be hearing from God and then letting Him confirm what you heard, not thinking you're seeing all these confirmations and God hasn't said anything yet.
All right. You praying to God like, God, this is right?
Right.
This is right?
Right.
How are you hearing no when you're saying it's right?
You're asking Him instead of letting Him tell you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a big thing, like especially when it comes to the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, the person that you believe God is telling you to walk out and carry out your purpose with. He can tell you this is the person for you, not you begging and trying to, okay, send me 15 signs. Like, no, there should be such a clear word from God, and then, like I said, signs that follow, things that he does to confirm it. Because when you do it the other way around, sometimes you end up investing so much of yourself, and that's how you end up letting your heart down, getting your heart broken. Because there's nothing wrong with hanging out with people, getting to know people, do all of that, whatever. You gotta date. You gotta play to win. That's what they say for the lottery. You gotta get out there to even meet someone. But when you're meeting these people, don't try to make it something more than what it is. Don't try to, on the first day, be like, is this a sign? Is this a sign? Is this a sign? God hasn't even said anything yet to be even looking for signs of confirmation. Confirmation comes after the word has been spoken. So don't get ahead of yourselves. One thing that I would say for both of us rings true is we heard from God.
And then signs follow. When it's the other way around, it's witchcraft.
And there's that.
Boom.
So
when it's signs first and then you try to get a word, it's already messed up.
Yeah.
You go to a tarot card reader for that.
Right, because then you're just searching. You're on a search for something.
That's going to help somebody.
Yeah.
Because I don't even talk like that.
He really doesn't.
Help
so, listen, if that was for you,
let us know in the comment section.
But definitely, like, you want to be hearing from God, and that's really important too, because there were a lot of things that transpired during that short time, even though it was short, that we were engaged and got married, but we were both able to go back and stand so firmly on the word that we knew we heard from God.
No
matter, right, individually. We didn't pray, and that, I've heard this happening too, which is like totally interesting to me. But people will go and they'll pray together to figure out if God said that they should get married.
Oh snap, that can get awkward.
Like, cause then what do you do? Like, I don't even know like how exactly that works. But I'm gonna say I'm not a huge fan of that. You should each individually,
because you're not one yet,
hear what God is saying, because then if one person says yes and the other person says no, then it's like really awkward. And it's like, who's gonna say no first? Who's gonna say no first?
That's the real truth.
Like that, I don't know. So anyway,
that's how people get ghosted.
You should both.
You don't know why they got ghosted.
You should both, but I don't know. You should both hear clearly from God. Both of us, before we met and got married, had people tell us that we were supposed to be their spouse. Clearly, living in life today, we see that there's no way that could be true.
She's still single. I'm assuming. Last time I came across her Instagram, which I can't. It's been like 5 years, so I'll take that back.
He doesn't know what she's been like.
I don't know.
But in it all, there have been people prior to us that have said, you're supposed to be my spouse. And that's why it's important for you to be able to hear from God yourself, not be relying on what somebody else is saying, because they could be lying while you relying on them. So
remember that.
So make sure you're able to just hear from God yourself. And again, I would say it's better to go off of something that you think you're hearing yourself and allow God to confirm that, than to allow people to just come telling you any old thing. God know how to correct you if it's not right. God know how to send a ton of confirmations that this ain't it if it's not right. But you should be acting on the things that you hear from God, and then not try to also persuade others with what you felt like you heard from God. And let's also just go ahead, drop this little nugget in there. God not telling you that somebody else's husband is your husband. God not telling you that somebody else's wife is your wife. He's not doing that. God is a God of decency and in order. So let's just go ahead. Let's just throw that out there.
Wow.
But
hope you caught that.
But he wants the best for you, and we also actually want the best for you. So that's why we've been doing these videos. We're gonna continue to do these videos. I told you you're gonna start seeing more of my husband together. I love him so much, you guys. I really do. We'll be married 7 years this June. And depending on when you're watching this video, this is June 2021 that we'll be married 7 years. And so
we're like little kids.
I know.
We're catching feet, you know what I'm saying?
We're
Getting smarter.
We're getting there.
We stumbled.
We're getting there.
We're growing up.
So, if you want to see more videos
Yes.
from my husband, maybe one where he shares more about what this word was, what these things was that I was saying to him. Even though we know it's not for you, it was for him, but you just like to know stuff because inquiring minds like to know. Just get to know us a little better.
No. What, you being nosy? What is this?
It's not nosy. Don't call my people nosy. They're not nosy. They're just people. Don't call our people nosy. Y'all are not nosy. I would never think of you guys that way. You just like to gather information and have it because you never know when you can learn from it.
With that information.
You can learn from it.
But right, and I'm telling you what to learn from it. If you rewind, you will hear what I learned and what I can share with you that you should learn with what was said to me. If you're a good listener,
so
call on
leave it in the comments if you're interested in knowing what it is. Because I feel like inquiring minds like to know. And there's nothing wrong with inquiring. So if you want to know, just write in the comments like, hey, maybe.
Or we can do like intimate settings, right? We can do like gatherings. Because I think it will come across better in those type settings. Because I can really give you more background, okay? Just telling you what he said is not going to do anything.
Okay.
But tell you what he said. So
an intimate
what we're saying is we're taking, what's the name of the show?
Mile in My Stilettos.
We're taking Mile in My Stilettos on the road. Okay? Coming to a city near you. Get your mask. Get your shot. Let's hit it.
Okay.
International.
I'm down.
Internet. Other countries. Comment below. What country are you streaming from? We're coming to you.
I know I have quite a few UK viewers. And
UK.
some people from Africa as well. So
I definitely love Africa.
But we also love the USA.
True.
That's where we at right now.
Facts.
So wherever you are, whoever you are, if you are interested in
state.
The Mile in My Stilettos
on the road
situation, intimate setting, getting to know Crystal and Ricky Jones Jr.
Spilling the tea.
Spilling the tea. Then let us know in the comments.
That can get crazy.
Listen.
Boys will look good.
Listen, your girl
I'm just
is
trying to
extremely transparent.
I'm keeping myself contained because this is her show.
Y'all already know. I don't care about spilling tea. If you watched any of these other videos I have on here, y'all already know. I just tell it because, I mean, the truth is the truth and the facts are the facts. And I would definitely say God has brought me on a journey, and part of that journey has been the deliverance of being ashamed of my journey. My journey is my journey. My truth is my truth. And I hope that in bringing it all to you, I can help you.
Facts.
So, thank you so much for watching the
Love you
show.
all.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Like this video. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you share the video. That helps make sure other people get to see the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Join the Miss to Mrs. Club. Check out the other videos. How we met, got married in just 9 months. He did a video talking about the social media posts that sometimes people post, and are they keeping you single? We have different videos that are up, so make sure you check out those videos, you guys. Check out some of the lives that I've done. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.
Later. Love you all.